keeps blocking black wealth? We digging deep to free ourselves.
Welcome back to Who Keeps Blocking Black Wealth. I'm Dana. Today we're talking about financial myths, the stories that sound true, feel comforting, and quietly turn into barriers. Let's unmask it.
And I'm Harold, because some things are not holding you back, they're just unexamined.
Money myths in the Black community. They're passed down like family recipes. But here's the thing. While Grandma's sweet potato pie recipe is gold, her financial advice might need a 2026 update.
That's such an interesting way to look at it. These financial myths really do get handed down through generations, don't they?
And you know what's fascinating? I've been tracking these money myths for years, and nearly 70% of Black Americans report feeling that the system is actively working against their financial success. But here's where it gets complicated.
Well, that statistic certainly explains a lot about the mindset we're dealing with. How do you think this perception affects day-to-day financial decisions?
Let me tell you something interesting. Studies show that people who believe external forces control their financial destiny are 45% less likely to invest in the stock market. It's like we've created this self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's a powerful correlation. And it reminds me of how we often create these invisible barriers in our minds.
Speaking of barriers, let's talk about credit scores for a minute. You know what's wild? A recent survey showed that 40% of Black Americans believe checking their credit score will hurt it. That's not just misinformation, it's financial paralysis.
Oh my goodness. That reminds me of how some folks treat their credit score like it's Medusa. They're literally afraid to look at it.
Right. And here's what's really interesting. When we look at the data, communities that actively monitor their credit scores see an average improvement of 21 points within 6 months. It's all about facing those numbers head on.
Those numbers are eye-opening. So what you're saying is that the very act of avoiding financial information is actually making things worse.
Exactly. And let me drop another stat that'll blow your mind. Studies show that people who regularly track their spending save an average of $350 more per month than those who don't. But we've got folks out here treating their bank balance like a horror movie. They can't bear to look.
Well, that explains why some people would rather do their taxes twice than check their account balance after a weekend of online shopping.
You know what's really interesting about this whole they phenomenon? When researchers actually ask people to identify who they is, 85% couldn't give a specific answer. It's become this convenient catch-all for any financial obstacle.
That's fascinating. So we're essentially fighting this invisible enemy while the real barriers might be much more concrete and solvable.
Exactly. And here's another mind bender. A recent study found that communities with active financial literacy programs saw a 60% increase in small business creation. But only 12% of people actually seek out this knowledge.
Those numbers really put things in perspective. It's like we're choosing to stay in the dark when the light switch is right there.
And speaking of staying in the dark, let me share something that really opened my eyes. The average millionaire has 7 different streams of income. Meanwhile, we've got folks thinking having a side hustle is doing too much.
Now that's the kind of information that needs to be circulating at the family barbecue instead of myths about credit cards being the devil.
Listen, and this is crucial, financial education has been shown to increase household wealth by an average of 25% over 5 years. But we're out here memorizing song lyrics instead of learning about compound interest.
That's such a powerful point about where we choose to focus our energy and attention.
So here's the truth. Wealth inequality isn't always about effort, it's about structure. And once you understand the structure, you stop being confused by the outcome.
And start moving different.
Exactly.
All this talk about systems got me tired.
Tired or just worn out from fighting reality.
Both.
Well, when it's time to actually rest, I'm reaching for my cozy earth sheets because after a long day like this, comfort isn't optional. These are made from viscose, from bamboo, super soft, breathable. And honestly, once you lay down, you're not getting back up. If you're going to recharge, you might as well do it right. Go to cozyearth.com. Use code WKBBW. Get 40% off. Wrap yourself in luxury.
Yeah, I'm logging off early tonight.
If this episode helped bring clarity, stay with us. Follow the show. Share it with someone who needs it. This show exists to shine a light on the knowledge our community has believed was hidden so we can understand it and use it to our advantage.
Because once you understand the rules,
You stop guessing. Pray, plan, prosper on purpose.
share this with somebody who needs receipts.
Who keeps blocking black wealth? We digging deep to free ourselves. Faith, money, truth on the shelf. Let's talk about it, talk about it.
Who keeps blocking black wealth?
Not me, not today. Check your credit and pray.